Okay, good evening, everyone. Welcome and welcome and welcome. I am the Diva D from Carved Out Divas.
April Cobb with April's Beauty Bar, and we are with Diversity and Equity in Education. And we're being
Yes,
hosted by.
the fantastic and phenomenal Bianca Goolsby with Teaching for the Culture. So, good evening, everyone.
Woo, we made it. I'm just gonna go ahead and get my praise dance in right now. Let's get this whole. We need the whole church tambourine. We didn't took flight,
Yes,
y'all. We
take
took
flight.
flight. We made it an entire semester shy of 2 weeks. So we will say that we made it to the winter break, and we are forever thankful.
We
COVID
certainly
free.
are.
Say it
Yes,
again.
and that's a blessing.
COVID
COVID free.
free.
Yes, and that's a blessing because we have literally, gone through a season. And you remember, and parents, I'm so glad you said that because parents, the quarter is still not over. So remember, we come back, and the kids come back on January 4th. The quarter ends on the 12th of January. So just remember that. Just remember that. So that's why there's no report card yet because the quarter isn't over yet. There's no, just pay attention to that. But we're so grateful that we made it. We had one of those, it's always that longest week ever, the week before the break. There's never a short period of time, and it just feels like it goes on forever. So I just wanted to just share that. I'm just glad we made it. I'm glad we made it. How was your week, April? What was going on in your week?
Well, my week was they will not steal my peace. So it did not matter what the week was going to be for others. But any child I saw that was acting as though they wanted to become disruptive, let me remind you, we're not going to steal each other's peace. You're going to peacefully come in this room, and I'm going to peacefully teach you so you could peacefully not get suspended, so we could peacefully have a great winter break without your parents peacefully and the grandchildren in the back today, y'all. They're in the back. They're in the back. As I was saying, my peace, but the peace may have stopped at the schoolhouse, but the peace did not carry on at the house. But I am super happy to have them here today.
Yes, I agree. And it was a fulfilling week. I think we did well. One of the things that we all need to be cognizant about is that we do a lot of things on campus for the brick and mortar kids, and I think a lot of times we may neglect the children who are online. So one of the things that I did, I took upon myself, which is what we normally do a lot of incentive stuff for our kids anyway. So I went ahead and did some food bags, which I would normally do. And so don't all the sponsors and everybody who's been donating, don't stop donating just because we're teaching online classes. Remember that the kids still need the stuff. So we went ahead and put together food bags and put together snack bags and little incentive things from them from McDonald's, and I was able to deliver them. One of the things I really learned in this process of trying to get the food stuff out to the kids, right? One, our kids live within a 10-mile radius. It's a square. Tampa is just a simple square, and you just drive around. And we find most of our kids pretty much between Ybor City, Silver Springs, Temple Terrace. Most of them are over there off of 40th Street. They're over there by Nucio. They're all over, right? But then the thing that really hit me hard was this because I was able to deliver it within 2.5 hours. I got most of the kids' stuff out. Okay, but let me tell you what hit me really hard. When a child comes to the door and says, "I didn't think you were coming," you have got to we've got to do a better job of really supporting our children. When you hear kids say over and over again, "I didn't think you would come," I don't think when an adult says something, I could trust it. I don't believe it. That really touched my heart because I was like, wow, how many promises have been broken to you in your lifetime, and you're a young person. So that showed me how much more we really have to truly just not just build a relationship with the kids, but be true to our word. That's why a lot of kids feel there's no hope because adults have let them down. And so how I felt when I was there, I was like, wow, it was just an overwhelming and warming feeling to know that you could do something, just even something small that just was so good for them. So, and that's why mentorship programs are so important. You have to have mentorship programs and build with our children, and that's essential. That's I can't stress that enough in terms of the behavior of our kids, the relationship they have with adults, that trust that you need to build with them. So I just thought that was just amazing. And as a side, this is what I think teachers should be doing throughout at least the beginning of the year, sometime during the middle of the year. Put all the teachers together and ride them around in the neighborhood so you can see where your students live. If you know where your students live, you probably will have a better understanding of who they are. April?
I totally agree. Can you still hear me,
I
Denise?
hear you very well.
Okay. So my key thing with that, like you said, that is very important for our students to know that when an adult says to them coming from, on a campus, that their words align up with their actions. I'm a big stickler on that. If your
Yes.
words don't line up, I don't even want to fool with you. You only get one opportunity where your words don't line up, and it's more consistent excuses versus consistent implementation and your words aligning. And I'm not going to be confrontational with you. I just cut you off. I'll just
hmm
cut you off. It's just that easy for me because I don't call nobody to tell them a lie. I don't wake up and say, I'm going to call Denise to tell her a lie about something I'm going to do today. I don't do that to children either. I make sure that if plans change, I'm going to give them a new date and time for me to implement whatever I promised to them. Because you're right, they do have some students are receiving a lot of broken promises.
Right, right, exactly. And it's so good to know that not only were the students receptive, but the parents were just receptive as well. And remember to yourself, let me tell you, I can keep telling you, you cannot donate enough juice boxes, snack packs, ramen noodles. They love that stuff. Takis, chips. The little fruit snacks. Those things are amazing, and they are just such a help, especially when you open up the door and you see four little kids behind it, and your heart is compelled to, like, okay, here, everybody get a snack pack, everybody get a snack pack, because you just know it's not just gonna be that child, right? So just always feel free to give and give and give from the heart. And now let me tell you, now that we're on break, parents, we're gonna say it. We say it every spring break. We say it every Christmas break, winter, Thanksgiving break. Parents, it's time to check the backpacks. Let's check them now. Let's check them now because 2 weeks from now, that jean shorts, them gym shorts, and there's t-shirts and undershirts, and then the Axe body spray and all that wrapped up in that inside of that backpack. Mm, mm, mm. That's a special breed of funk right there. That's just special. And we just don't we need you to not. We need you to check them backpacks right away. And now I will tell you, are you hearing?
Yeah, girl, when I tell you the
Okay.
lightning just like came in the door. Come here, little
Yeah.
mama.
I
And
will
this
I
one
will
over
say
here that ran over here because she like, that lightning almost got me just then. Wave at the camera. What's the grandbaby? That's one of them,
I
y'all.
will say this. I will say
That
this.
lightning
My
just
whole
scared us
house
to
just
death.
shook. My whole
What was
house
that,
just shook.
son?
I was like, what is that?
Tyrone talking about that's the Proud Boys dropping bombs. I ain't fooling with Tyrone.
This is not the type of stuff we need to hear right now. I thank you, no. Mm-mm.
So
Okay.
yeah,
So what we're doing, what
so
we're
it's
focusing
very
on. Go ahead.
important that also while we're on Christmas break, remember Christmas is just this week. Everybody's provided all those um great toys and food baskets and so on and so forth. But remember, there's life after Christmas. So the following week is when things get rough if parents did not have an opportunity to participate in the food program. Excuse me, that our district offered because I know for many kids the day that they launched it, like the weather was bad, like on the what was that, the
Mm-hmm.
16th. So yeah, I don't know how that went for many, but I know at our school we had a very good turnout for parents and guardians coming to pick up food items from our food pantry from Jennings Middle School. So remember, there's life after this coming up week. Yes, they are very thankful for the season for giving and receiving. But remember, the kids need more things after this week. So just
Correct.
keep that in mind.
Correct. Correct. And just always know. Remember, it's just all. till the day we stop being in school. There's always a need, and then somebody else will have a need. So just feel free to go ahead and like adopt a school, adopt a teacher. When really good, what really is helpful if you adopt one particular teacher, and then even within that teacher, say you have like four or five friends. And say, hey, that teacher has 6 class periods, 7 class periods. Hey, I got first and second period. You got third through fifth. Just something to where you can always have help for the kids. Because remember, like especially at Title One schools, achievement schools, things like that, there's always a need. So we need to always meet that need and satisfy that need. Now, today we had an amazing meeting with the Sunshine Education Coalition and just rolling out some plans that we had when we were working with the teachers or over in Plant City. Because we always focus on Hillsborough County, but we keep forgetting about our brothers and sisters over there in Plant City, which is still all together, still encompassed under that one umbrella. And the issue that we have is that we never ever hear too much about Plant City. All we know about Plant City is, hey, Strawberry Festival, and I know Boys to Men coming, Uncle Charlie coming back one more year, one more again. That's what we know.
You
We
are
don't really
absolutely
know.
right. That is such, like I shared during that meeting, that was my own ignorance because I thought
Mm-hmm.
everything was cool, copacetic, but we hear that is not the case for Bernie Elementary and
Correct.
what was the other one, Denise?
Oh, I did not write that one down. I didn't write it down. But apparently the same situations that we have over here. They're pretty much they mirror what's going on over in Plant City, and we were very pleased that we were able to not just have a great conversation with the women who are already involved in the insect, but also we had men who jumped in, and these were the men that
Black
came in from
men.
Plant City, black men, and
Black
we are
men.
so proud of the fact that they came in from Plant City to have these hard conversations with us, that they acknowledged what was going on. They know and accept the fact that it's called pipeline to prison. They're aware, they've been in the system, and they serve in different capacities in terms of they've taught, they've been in sociology, psychology, all those things like that. So do we want to give some shout outs real quick before we move on?
And just for a point of reference, the two schools that they are exhibiting those same challenges, if not more
Mhm.
so worse, would be Bernie Elementary and Jackson Elementary. And let us be
Yeah.
clear, we're not bashing the school. We're illuminating the issues and the problems at the school. So therefore,
Right.
if you want to create your own narrative as far as how you think your perspective is of what we're doing, that's your problem. But
Mhm.
our purpose is to illuminate the issues that are ongoing in our district that must be addressed. So, Bernie
Yeah.
Elementary and Jackson Elementary, we are here to illuminate the issues that we know for a fact are happening at that school setting. And it sounds like resources and funding at specific schools are an issue. But one
Mhm.
thing we do know for sure is how magnet schools are placed in the predominantly um, social economically challenged communities. Guess what?
Mhm.
They did the same thing in Plant City. So now all of the majority of their students that live in the urban areas are being bussed out. So again, it's systemic, it's intentional, and we
Yeah.
want to know
Mhm.
we want to know why. And being that we know that it has happened, what are the next steps in order to support the children of color, black boys that are being disproportionately suspended in high numbers here in Hillsborough County? We want aggressive measures taken sooner than
Mhm.
later, not after audits, not after all these task force. We want some things that we could do right now, seen within the next, hopefully,
Correct.
120 days, because we've had a full semester. And what have we seen so far, Denise?
Absolutely nothing. We haven't seen any change, anything that actually is tangible, something that can say, okay, all right, we can look at it. So, for example, because we talk about the issues and we always provide solutions. Now, whether or not people take up what we're trying to say, but we do have solutions. One of the solutions is to attack your teachers' cultural biases or their biases towards our children. And in order to do that, you have to look at their data. We're tired of looking at the students' data. We've seen the students' data. We know year after year after year, we've got 20 years of data that can prove to us that our students are failing and falling behind. Now, let's go ahead and pick up on current data on teachers. That's what we need to understand. Okay, let's run some data on teachers and see which teachers write the most referrals. which teachers are constantly having problems with kids, which teachers are combative, which teachers are always putting students out of the class, which so let run the data. If you ran the data and presented it before your faculty every 3 weeks, just like you run with your progress report, things like that. It's just it's a health check. It's a meter. It's a data check.
You
Let's
know,
go
it's
ahead
the
and have a
same
data
thing
chat.
that they ask us to do, progress monitoring.
Progress monitoring.
That's
Let's do
good.
data chat. Right. Let's do a data chat with your data. Look like you wrote 62 referrals. This teacher over here down the hall unwrote about 12, and this other teacher has written none. Now, when we come back in 3 weeks, your numbers should be down because you've seen your data. You know why you've got the highest amount of referrals. You should be coming down, not going up. You shouldn't be at the same steady pace. What's going on? Now let's discuss what preventative or restorative measures we need to have with you to figure out how to fix your problem. Because clearly you have an issue with the students. Because if you take that one teacher who teaches all one subject and take another teacher who has the same kids teach a different subject, and it's not really the subject per se, it's the student, all the students, and you look at the situation like, well, why this teacher don't have no problem with these students? Now you got to start to look within yourself. These are that's just one possible solution. We ain't gonna talk unless we provide some kind of solution. That's it.
You are absolutely right. So we're expecting a change. We're looking for it. And the only way we could stop looking if we see that it has happened. So we will continue to push forward with this conversation. And some quick
Right.
shout out from the Plant City area. Number one, our very own SEC member, Andrea Williams.
Yep.
And we had conversations with Plant City educators, Emily Lee. Denise, who else
Hmm.
did we have on?
We spoke to Mr. Dasher. I so apologize because I can't remember his first name, but he was very instrumental in really bringing enlightening us with the conversation and talking about. And then he brought in other people who he's actually who kept Mr. Kenneth Griffin as well as Mr. Jonathan Holmes. And they're all from the Plant City area, and we really appreciate the fact that they shared with us exactly what's going on. I mean, and you know what's really interesting is how the exact scenarios that we have been talking about for years, they were talking about. So one situation was where why is it that kids come to your class? They said they offload all the kids that they can't handle to your class, and they sit in my class now. Am I getting an extra check for this extra 10 kids that I got to take care of because you can't handle them in your class? So these are not isolated incidents in our school, but they happen everywhere, and it's so good to see that men are able to discuss this with others. Also, too, the one thing that they brought up, see, and that's why it's good to have these great conversations with men who are also like-minded, is the fact that when they acknowledge the fact that if you are putting those black men into administrative positions, you're elevating them, but you're also tying their hands. You are giving
And
them. Yeah, go ahead.
what I thought was the aha moment for me, and even though we see it happen all the time, is that the black men on campus are often viewed as the disciplinarians. They are the ones that they're constantly receiving the troubled students or or black males on campus or brown males as well, that they are sought out to help deal with them, or I can't help them. You do better with them. Well, who the hell is them? Because we have learned how to accommodate all children.
Right.
So where is the privilege in you not knowing how to deal with those are their words, deal with or meet the needs of all students? Because we mastered it. We know how to do it.
Right.
So
Right.
that means that we need to learn from one another by having meaningful dialogue to include, um, not easy conversations, challenging conversations that encompasses all of this so that we in the end can all meet the needs of every student that is put in front of us.
Correct. And that's the thing to understand. Isn't it amazing how and I think this goes all the way back to slavery, from the time when black women had to take care of everybody's children, slave masters' children. Okay, we have to know how to take care of everybody else's children. But why is it that when it comes to our children, oh, I don't know how to deal with them? We've gone to school, learn an educational field, learn how to deal with kids from books that study their children. Remember, the books aren't written about our children. It's like, okay, here's a course on managing behavior, a course on social emotional growth, a course on dealing with ESD kids or dealing with it, but they don't specifically reference our children. So, but yet we have to know how to deal with every child, every single one of them. So that's where the bias takes place, because how is it that you're not seeing this? If I can handle this one child, it's a Hispanic child or a white child, and the black kids in my class, why can't other teachers handle all the races of kids in the class? It has to be, well, I need to send these out here to you. Why? You gotta make some kind of connection with the children. You have to. You have to.
And if we don't, again, we will not see changes. We won't. We won't.
Mm-mm.
So we got to do something different. So our next topic of this discussion is check the damn phones. That's it. We ain't saying check the cell phone no more. Check the damn
The
phones.
damn phone.
Let's put some emphasis on it. Check the damn phones.
Damn phone.
Do not let these kids be on these phones all break and you don't check the damn phone.
Parents, let me tell you something. The last 3 fights we had on school had nothing to do with school. Everything that occurred was because it happened on social media, and they brought all of that anger and rage into the school, and they coordinated the fights through the phone. So what? And remember, you have to keep in mind. I want you to think like this. This is why sometimes I don't feel a lot of these kids need to have these phones out during the day. They need to be like in secure pouches or locked up or whatever like that. Because listen, there's more of them than there are of us. So of course, if you're on a phone and you're telling all your friends, there's a resource officer over here, the AP over in this building, the principal back here. All right, we good. We could go fight in this corner. These people have mastered how to create drama by just having the phones. And then some parents are in shock when they realize that, oh, this child been bullying my child. This child been bullying my child. But guess what? Your child has been bullying everybody too. Your child may appear to be the victim, but when you go in that child's phone, that child is the terror of the school. Please check this is your phone. I don't understand why you can't. This phone belongs to you. It's your phone. I don't let them. If anybody want to come in here and tell me they want to take anything out of my house, wait a minute, I pay for everything in here. So how are you taking something that belongs to me? But you have that right, just like you have the right to take the door off the bedroom because that's your door. You remember Christmas time, kids need to appreciate the fact that they have light, water, and a roof over their head. I mean, really, do they really need anything else? They should be happy they have life. Because remember, let me tell you something. COVID is real and it's taking parents out. So we've had students who've lost parents already. So when I say every single day when you walk in that door and you still alive, it's a good day. But parents, please check the phone. The things that are coming through the phones now are really, I mean, it is dangerous. It's dangerous. And you need to go on to Teaching for the Culture, because there's plenty of different daily information that lets you know about what's on things. I think Bianca's very good at posting things on there to let you know what the kids are currently looking at. So please go on there and take a look, because that's not what we can tell you. She can actually show it to you better. Okay? April. I know April's in swing mode right now. Listen, April is a master of multitasking. If you're looking, I know some of y'all might be listening, but if you're looking right now, you will see how she's multitasking.
Don't be doing that. I'm trying to monitor a call with the children. You know, my life is complicated. But one thing I say, thank God, thank God, thank God. Thank
Yes.
God everybody's healthy. Yeah, I'll leave it at that. But yeah, read the chat, Denise.
Yes, I'm trying to go up. Okay. Okay. I'm trying to look and see who's here. I just want to say hey, who's here. Okay, so let's see. Hi Pansy. Hi Gretchen. Hello Gretchen. Thank you for sharing it out. Gretchen says that networking is the key. Amen. Exactly. Amen. Please feel free to share as well. Share with everybody. Let them all know that what we're talking about for the Christmas break, for the winter holidays, is that we need to be really mindful and very cognizant of what's going on with our students and their phones. I mean, I know that every child wants to have that, just like every child wants to have the new PlayStation. They want to have all this other stuff, but you have to be aware of the fact that there's certain predators can come through in all type of devices. A predator can come through the phone, a tablet. Predator can come through any kind of way. And remember, a lot of times you think you're talking to other kids, but you're talking to grown people. So just be very, very, very careful about what you're doing and what you're putting out there, or what your child has in that phone. Okay, really important. Oh, by the way, so now look, I just got a breaking news report that they apparently they reached some kind of agreement with the stimulus money. So
Do what, Denise?
they reached some kind of agreement with the stimulus money, the COVID stimulus money. So we're gonna see when that roll out. Let me see how God worked though. I'm thinking that money gonna come right on time. I bet you we might not see that check till the first. It might come during the summertime, which is perfect because we'll be out of school. They'll be like, yes. But yeah, they finally have. I mean, meanwhile, other countries have been getting a check every month to help sustain them. America, we got a check what time? When it was? Sometime in was it 2019 we got a check? Sometime. I think. Was it summer of last year? I don't even know. All I know is finally. Yeah, can something happen to help the people? Because people out here starving. People out here struggling. That's what the big problem is. Starving and struggling. It's so sad. It's so sad. You know. So what's going on with our hold on in our so listen the school. Oh my goodness, that's right. School board. Look, we don't know what's going on in terms of that. One news report came about that we're looking at not really a restructure, but what's the word? I believe it on Bianca page. Bianca had posted it. It was really a good article. I'll let her go back to that particular article right there. But listen, all I know is I don't know how it is on your side, but my lights are flashing. And April, you might not be able to hear me, but my lights are flashing on this side. And I don't know how long this connection will hold on and how strong it's going to be. Okay? Go ahead.
So Denise, I'm multitasking here, like I told you. So I will
I
be
know.
back in a few minutes.
Okay, all right, but no, but what I am going to say to you is that my lights have flickered in here, and I don't know if my connection is going to be very strong or very long, or hold on for too long. So what I'm going to say is that I want us to be able to come back on once we get a stronger connection, so that we can continue. So unless April has anything else that she wants to add, I was going to close us out because, like I said, I think my connection is gonna fade away in just a second. And sing. So, so Bianca, if you're still with us, we're gonna go ahead and wrap it up, and then we're gonna come back in a little later because I'm a little bit concerned about what is going on here. Okay?